In this video, we will be talking about goals. And this is another topic that I'm really passionate about, and I'm very excited to share with you this case study of how I set my goals. First, before I go into the case study, let's determine the list of goals that you actually should set for yourself. And this is the absolute minimum that I recommend you setting. And here is it. The very first type of goal is legacy. And this is a lifetime goal. You should be thinking about what you are going to leave after yourself. You should have a reason to live longer. You should have some really challenging goal that you will be chasing, pursuing your whole life. And it can be one goal, it can be 2, 3, or even more. But usually, from people that I know, people usually have up to 3 to 5 goals. Then the next type of goal is annual goals. This is something that you will be setting at the beginning of the year. The same way that people do New Year's resolution, you will be setting your annual goals. But the difference between you and those people will be in the fact that you will actually achieve your goals. You will be working on your goals. Did you know that about 90% of people who do New Year's resolution actually fail on them and never achieve that? So you're not going to be like that. I know that. Okay, the third type of goals that I recommend you to set is weekly goals. And it says for itself, it's weekly goals. You set them every week. I do participate in different masterminds, and in those masterminds, we set goals, we help each other achieve those goals, we keep each other accountable, and I did try all kinds of goals. For myself, I set many other types of goals. I actually have daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, annual goals. I have 5-year vision. I have legacy, and I have 2 years ahead goals. I'm actually going to work on something even after I'm gone. So 2 years ahead, 200 years ahead. So in 200 years, I'm going to create something. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's going to happen. But anyway, so I've been working with different people on kinds of goal setting processes, and I discovered that these three, the absolute minimum, are the types of goals that work out the best and produce the best results. So this is why I suggest you to determine what's your lifetime goal, what's your purpose in life, then start setting annual goals. And the importance of weekly goals is that's actually something that will kick you out of those 95% of failures and get you into 5% of success. Usually what happens when people set annual goals or do New Year's resolutions, they set them and forget them. When you have a lot of time, you always think like, I'm gonna do that later, I still have time. That's a normal mentality. And tomorrow never comes. If you say that I'm gonna do something tomorrow, this will never happen, in most of the cases at least. So that's why you need weekly goals. And when you set weekly goals, you need to be looking at your annual goals. And if you go, for example, for this year to change your job and you want to just learn a completely new profession and change your job, then your weekly goal is going to be related to that. You might go and sign up for some courses. You might go and search for some similar jobs than what you're looking for. You are going to do something that is related to your annual goals. And obviously, when you set annual goals, you should be considering your legacy. Your annual goals should be aligned with what you want to leave after yourself. Hope this makes it clear. Now, let me get to the case study. I'm going to show you 2 specific examples of what I do to set goals. And those 2 examples are the things that work best for me. That's something that inspires me. That's something that I'm really, really excited about. And that's why I decided to share that with you. The first thing is my annual goals. And with annual goals, every year I set something like 20 different goals. But among those 20, I have 5, the main ones, 5 main goals that I want to achieve this year. Well, I want to achieve all of them, but there are 5 the most challenging, those that keep me scared. And then I draw those goals on my whiteboard. And this is the picture of a whiteboard with my 5 goals. And it's actually in my bedroom. So every day when I wake up, this is the first thing that I see. When I go to bed, this is, again, the last thing that I see in that day. So I always keep those goals in mind and I always think about them. And the way it goes is, so this one thing is a goal, then this is another goal, etc. There are 5 bars here and each bar is a goal. And most of people are visual, so it works out for me to visualize things, so I visualize my goals. So at the top here, there is a visual representation of what this goal is. For example, this year, I decided to give up artificial sugar. So I don't eat candies, I don't eat chocolates, muffins, cakes, none of that stuff. And this symbol represents that. Then the next part of the goal is the actual progress bar. And it's vertical. The green part is something that I've already completed, and the white part is something that is remaining to complete. And then over here, it's just the name of the goal. It's in my native language, so don't worry if you don't understand it. That's totally fine. And as the year goes and I do progress on that goal, I keep just filling in that progress bar with the green color. Now, the very important part in this whole process is that you should set some steps. I used to do karate, and my sensei once said very wise thing that I just keep remembering, and I think it's like really cool. He said that there is no goal without path. So when you set a goal, you have to know how you're gonna get there. You have to know intermediate steps that you're gonna make to get from point A to point B. And on the right here, it is intermediate steps that I'm going to take to get to that goal. So here is what it will take there. Let me just show you some example. One of the things that I want to achieve this year is to do the splits. And this is my first goal. So that's a picture of myself doing the splits. And I have a split machine. And I calculated how many spins I need to do in that machine to get it to the split position. And it is exactly 12 spins of the wheel to extend it to the splits. So when I sit to that machine, I start counting how many spins I do with the wheel. And obviously, the further I extend, the harder it gets for me. And it's just a matter of practice and consistency. So I do stretch almost every day, and I use that machine, and I track my progress. And I know that I need to get 12 spins to do the splits. So this number here is 12. That's when I achieve my goal. That's when I will fill in this whole rectangle, this whole progress bar with green. Then I have 10, 8, 6, 4, and 2. I started with 2 because that was my beginning position. And as you can see right now, I'm at 8.5 spins. And the further I stretch myself, the further I fulfill this rectangle. So I found that this kind of format, it works the best. And it really inspires me. It keeps reminding me that I have those goals. And if I if it's the middle of the year, if it's June or July, and I look at my goals and progress bars are empty, then I know that something is going wrong. If it's middle of the year, then I should really be somewhere in the middle of those progress bars. And by looking at those goals right now, I can see that I'm behind with 2 goals. but I'm going to achieve those. It's just a matter of seasonality. But I know that if something is not there, then I should be worried about that, and I should start working hard on my goals. So hope you use this tool and you do something similar with your goals. The next technique that I use, my daily habits. I have daily goals, which is a separate thing, and this is my daily habits. And over here, I have mostly health habits, actually. That's interesting. So this is another tool that I came up with a while ago, and it just helps me a lot. This is another whiteboard that I have, and it starts with this framework here. So these 4 rectangles, and in each section, I draw a symbol of what I want to adopt. And in general, here is how it works. I have 12-week periods, and in those 12-week periods, that's basically 3 months, I decide for myself, what are the 6 habits that I want to adopt on a daily basis? And I list out those six habits, and I start adopting them. And this is the way for me to track that. So again, I'm visual, so I visualize things, and these are the 6 daily habits. And let me just give you an example of what those are. So this first symbol here, my friends actually have the most trouble figuring out what this means. They usually can't figure out the rest, all other 5, but this first one is usually a challenge for people. That's a meditation. So I start my day with a meditation. I do meditation, I do gratitude session, and that's just the way I want to start my day. Then the next thing is stretching plus exercise. So I usually start my day with a morning run. I run something like 3 kilometers, which is equivalent of something like a couple miles. And this is the way I start my day. So I run, and then I come back and stretch. The third one is eating salads and oatmeal, or some other cereal which is similar to oatmeal. Then the next one is 2,500. You should already be familiar with this number, or should guess what this means. This is the amount of calories that I eat. So every day I want to eat less than 2,500 calories. Then the next one, 15K. It means that I want to do 15,000 steps on that day. And the final one means that I achieved all my daily goals. On the other whiteboard, I have a list of my daily goals, and I push myself to achieve all those daily goals that I set for myself. So now, when I told you about those 6 habits, here's what's happening next. I draw a grid, and in that grid, I divide it into sections. For example, this one orange section, it represents one day. And on that day, I put either check marks or crosses of whether I did those 6 specified habits or not. So you can see 5 check marks and 1 cross here. And the cross is in the bottom right corner, which is my daily goals. So this means that on this day, I meditated, I exercised and stretched, I ate salad and cereal, I ate less than 2,500 calories, and then I did over 15,000 steps, but I did not achieve all my daily goals. That's why I have a cross here. That's the way it works. And then this blue section here, it represents 1 week. If you calculate, there will be 5 days here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days, that's a week. And you probably noticed that on some days I have check marks, and on some days I have just like straight lines. Straight line means that I was traveling. I was doing something, and I did not want to bother myself with all those daily routines. In most of the cases, I still do them, but when I travel, I try to reduce that stress of pushing myself to go and work out, to do the stretching, to do 15,000 steps, to do all that kind of stuff. So I do have exceptions for traveling, but in most of the cases, when I'm home, I do follow all those 5 daily habits. And then what I do, I have 12 weeks like this row, so it goes like way down, and that's the way I set a 3 months period for myself. I decide what I want to do, what habits I want to adopt, and then I do that for 3 months in a row. And the point is that habits usually take some time to adopt, to become a part of you. Some people say that you need 21 days to adopt a habit. Some people say that you need something like 60 days. But the reality is that it varies. But for most of the people, 90 days is going to be enough to adopt a habit. And it's just like making a wish. At the beginning of the term, at the beginning of those 3 months, I just make a wish. Okay, so what I want to bring in my life, what I want to be. And I want to be someone who meditates. I want to be someone who exercises. I want to be someone who eats a lot of salads and healthy cereals. I want to be someone who eats less than 2,500 calories. I want to be someone who is active and who walks for at least 15,000 steps every day. And I want to be someone who achieves my daily goals. So I make this wish, I draw it down, and then I start working on that. And you won't believe how easy it becomes once you have a system like that. And every 3 months, I change things that I want to adopt. And after previous 3 months, when I did something, it just becomes a part of my life. For instance, at the end of the period, right now, I don't already need this whiteboard. I don't need to remember about that. Meditation, stretching, and all that stuff is already a part of my life. So I do that subconsciously. So this is it. This is the system. This is the case study. I just showed you how I set and visualize my annual goals in such a way that it inspires me, and I showed you how I apply my daily habit system. I hope that this is valuable for you and you will be able to adopt something similar in your life. And I definitely wish you luck, and I hope that you will start setting goals in your life if you did not do that yet.